Well, that's how the violence last week affected the vaccination system. Also worries about knock-on effects around pharmacies. You can imagine the number of pharmacies that were looted, people needing chronic medication, things that literally keep them alive, never mind medication just for coping with COVID-19 if you do contract the disease. Tanya Ponter is the executive responsible for the dispensary category at Dis-Chem pharmacies, one of the bigger chains. Tanya, good afternoon to you. Firstly, how many of your pharmacies were affected last week? How bad was the damage?
We were extremely fortunate, Stephen, in that only 3 of our pharmacies were looted, 2 in KZN and 1 in Gauteng. So we got off relatively lightly, I guess.
I imagine that a huge amount of stock would have been taken. I mean, if you're going to loot a pharmacy, that's all there is to take, really.
Yes, so we lost the entire stock holding in Pinecrest and Jabulani, which was completely looted. But we're relatively surprised that when we managed to get into Watercrest this week, that we did manage to salvage some stock, and particularly some dispensary and medicines, which is good news.
Do you worry that some of the stock, I mean, some drugs, prescription drugs, they need to be taken in a very particular way? There are those detailed instructions. The doctor gives you those instructions in a handwriting no one can decipher, and the pharmacists decipher it for you, and they tell you what to do. Do you worry that if taken in the wrong way, some of the medicines that were stolen last week could actually be quite dangerous?
Absolutely. It's extremely concerning. The word is out in the whole pharmacy community to be extremely vigilant. We have notices warning our customers, etc. So yes, extremely dangerous to take scheduled medication that you have not bought from a reputable pharmacy.
And getting drugs to patients, I mean, there'll be some patients who will have had prescriptions at those pharmacies. Are you still able to, I mean, were there effects on, were there problems with your supply chain as well? Are you still able to get those drugs to those patients?
Last week was extremely difficult, especially in KZN. We also had isolated incidents of unrest in Gauteng. But by Wednesday, we started opening our KZN stores when we were sure of the safety of our staff and obviously our customers. And we opened more on Thursday, more on Friday, and I'm happy to report that this week, all of our KZN stores that were able to open have been opened, and all Gauteng stores at this stage are trading normally. And our partners with, as in the shopping malls, have also started to revert to normal trading hours. So okay, by Monday, we will revert to a completely normal trading environment in all our stores that are open.
And there won't be any shortages of any of the pharmaceutical drugs as a result of this at this stage?
So, Stephen, I think that's still too early to tell. As Dis-Chem, we hold between 6 to 8 weeks of stock holding between our distribution centers and our pharmacies. So we are okay in terms of supply for our customers for the next 2 months. We've not had any indication yet in terms of replenishment and shortages, but it's too early to tell. In the next 2 months, if we are unable to replenish, there may be some concerns.
There was a time when all prescriptions would have been on paper. If you'd lost your prescription with the repeat at a pharmacy branch, you'd never find it again. I presume it's all computerized now. It doesn't matter what happens in one branch of your pharmacy chain. The information is still kept somewhere in a cloud that no one understands.
Yes, absolutely. We have a centralized database. So in the 2 pharmacies or 3 that are still closed, those patients can access their prescription at any other Dis-Chem pharmacy, and we'll be able to access their prescription and service them.
Tanya Ponter, thank you. Executive responsible for the dispensary category at Dis-Chem pharmacies. I do appreciate the update.